Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Eric Eden.
Good evening. I hope that everyone really enjoyed all the content today, the general sessions, and all the breakout sessions. Wanted to remind you all, we have the PowerPoints in the mobile app, so if you missed something, you can go through the PowerPoints. They're in the mobile app. We also have a key points document in the mobile app that you can look through. If you didn't get to go to some of the sessions, you can go through for each track and see what were the key points for every track. So I encourage you to look through that. Tonight at 7 o'clock, the Cvent and MGM team are going to put on another great party at the Hakkasan nightclub, one of the best nightclubs in the world. There's going to be more surprises just like last night, great food and drinks. You don't want to miss that. We have several keynote speakers tonight. I wanted to start off by introducing one of the executives from AV Concepts. They've had about 40 people working with the Cvent team leading up to the conference and during this week. It's almost like their team has just become part of our team. They work really hard to not just provide audio video, but to provide a great event experience. Throughout the event, we've been talking about the experience economy. And so I wanted some of the AV Concepts team to share their insights on how they provide great event experiences to both B2B and B2C companies. So I'm going to ask Richard Steinow, the Executive Vice President of AV Concepts, to join us here on stage and share some of those. But first, we're going to start with a small sample of their work.
Can't think, can't sleep, can't breathe. No time to rest. Just do your best. What you hear is not a test. We're only here to make you. We're only here to make you. We're only here to make you. We're only here to make you go.
It is awesome when you run the content company, is it not? So you guys have talked me to death. Do you hear my voice? Every time I get up from a meeting going, I'm gonna go rest my voice, somebody else stops up and says, how do you do this? How do you make this happen? And what's the most important message you're looking for is what makes a truly great event. So what I wanna do is walk you through what we're seeing as those trends and what's really important. Some of the things I want you to understand, because there's great news about our industry. 94% of people want to come to your events and experience them. And digital is higher growing than experience, but experience is being funded more than ever before, and the ROI is fantastic. So the foundation is good. Now the question is, how do we rock this? How do we do something truly epic? Okay, so millennials, we call them a hot mess, right? Here's the problem. Their time is valuable. They are purpose-driven. They are not interested in spending time listening to what you want to tell them. They're listening for things that engage them and inspire them. And the most important thing you can do in an event for them is to give them something that can be shared, but not later, not after the event, right now. Inspire me enough that I want to pick this up and share it right now. Now, a lot of us see that as an issue of age. Turns out that across all age groups and across all income levels, people are walking away from buying possessions and spending money on experiences. This is something Fast Company realized in an article that they wrote. And at the end of the day, what people want from us is this social currency, okay? It's kind of an easy concept, but very difficult to do. Now, a couple of things I want to start with. Content will always be king, agreed? Content is so critically important. But content in the right context is what enables us to really grab people, Don't tell me what you want me to know. Engage me in the conversation. Help me feel special and important. Then surprise me, both emotionally and visually. Give me something that really is intriguing. That's that social currency that I want to have. And then finally, inspire me. Give me something I didn't expect, something I didn't know. Let me give you a couple examples of that. Patau, I talked about them in a breakout earlier today. Patau is a very exclusive organization, okay? They draw CEOs from all over the top of the Fortune 500. There is a waiting list of CEOs and CMOs that want to participate in Patau, but they hold the membership in their meeting to 250 people only that can attend. Now, this is kind of an interesting piece because you come into this environment and it's not about business. Patau has one purpose. That is to save the world through youth. All these CMOs and CEOs that come together and do some great transactions while they're together and build some new relationships are coming because 30% of the economy is driven by the youth, and they want to find a way to inspire them and help them to grow and be better. Let me share a video with you what that's all about.
Patau is a private community that represents all 70 industries that are shaping our culture. Patau is now the most influential group of minds and brands ever assembled in the world. The community represents over $68 billion of annual media investment, which is 1/3 of all US media, and connects with everybody in the world 5 times over. Our job is to create the most extraordinary experiences for them because they're the best in the world, so we want to work with only the best in the world and showcase things to inspire them to have a creative awakening.
Patau has been featured in numerous magazines as seen as the leading exclusive event in the world. So when you're engaged and they say, here's the empty room, what would you do with it? And oh, by the way, here's the people that are going to come in. And one small thing, we don't have a whole lot of money. What do you do with that room? That was the challenge that we had with Patau. That was the great struggle. So my Patau moment was sitting in my seat next to the CEO of Macy's. The Open was about to begin. We had spent 2 months reworking this Open to make sure it was amazing for this group. And there sat the CEO of Macy's next to me, and his phone's on the table between the two of us. And just as the Open is about to kick, his phone goes off, and I see on his phone, Tommy Hilfiger, mobile. Sweet. I could pick up the phone right now and talk to Tommy. That would be a really cool life experience, but I won't do that. The CEO of Macy's picks up his phone, cancels the call, puts it in video mode, and captures the Open. That's social currency at a high level. So where else do we see that kind of effectiveness? Well, if you pay any attention to what happens with these folks, 332 people reached out and had 12.7 million Twitter reaches. That allowed them to really start moving this conversation forward outside the meeting. We've also had the opportunity to be involved with Tupac. Later on at the reception, asked me about Tupac because Coachella wasn't where it was supposed to happen. There was a whole other story behind that, but I don't have time. In the end, Tupac was amazing because it created that social currency. Our website that got 200 hits a day, got 20,000 in the hour after Tupac landed. Our server crashed 4 times. We could not keep up with it. It transformed everything that we were doing. But the magic of Tupac is being captured in other ways. In this video, you'll notice that we have the opportunity to capture people live on stage in one location and bring in their holograms from another. Co-locating keynotes, co-locating breakouts. A CEO can stand in an office and give an address to 4 countries and appear live as a hologram. This technology just continues to grow in its use and its application. It's been a lot of fun. If you look at one of the leaders in our industry, you take a look at Google. Google has a very technical, very intelligent audience, and so how do you engage those guys? How do you do something that's going to inspire them? They've seen it all. They tasked us with making all the audio, video, digital technology interact with a mechanical sculpture. Never been done before. But for those guys in that audience who are so into digital, the mechanical was a complete departure, and it grabbed their attention. Let me show you what that looked like. So that was 2014. We just finished 2015. 570 feet of projection. Take this screen and advance it 150 feet in both directions down the wall and encased 6,000 people. Those are the kind of things that we do to try and grab attention, because at the end of the day, this is what they need to see. So Google's great, but I'm going to guess that all of us don't look at Google as a budget we could probably hit. So let's take something we can relate to. Corporate Event Marketing Association. 275 people gather in a small ballroom, limited budget. It's your peer group. These are the folks that do events for a living. What we wanted to do in that small little room over 3 days was completely transform it. Not the standard AV stuff, but we were limited. We were sitting in a room that was a bowling alley, the windows, the pieces, the parts. It just wasn't ideal for an event where you could really engage people. So we put drape in front of the windows and put fabric in front of that drape. And then we mapped the columns in the room along with the fabric and created a completely immersive experience in a ballroom for 275 people. I'll show you that video here. So in the end, a lot of people ask me about budget, and budget is absolutely critical to every person we work with. I don't care how much you have, every dollar is precious. If you nail these three things with your audience in mind, you get to have an amazing event. There are a lot of great success stories. Those are a few of ours. We'd love to see a few of yours. Thank you for having us. Thanks for being so great to us these last few days, and I hope you've enjoyed the work we've done. Thank you very, very much.